Are you selling your house this year? Have you heard about multiple offers? Have you ever wondered how that works? So for the first time ever, I don't think that I've ever actually seen a video of an agent walking through the process of capturing multiple offers. I'm going to do it for you real time here for a listing that I have. And by the time you're watching this video, this home will have been sold through multiple offers. And I'm going to give you the exact strategy, play by play, and how this thing's going to play out. Hi, Kevin Yoder, team leader of Yoder Real Estate, bringing to you valuable information about all things real estate and living and working in the Grand Rapids, Michigan area that you cannot find anywhere else. And if you like this video, make sure you like it and subscribe to it so that you can see more content just like this. Okay, so if you're interested in getting multiple offers in your house, you can just list a house and you can get one offer. Is that bad? Not bad. What's better than one offer? Multiple offers. Come to find out, there's a very specific way that we can actually increase your chances of receiving multiple offers on your property. Now, what's the benefit to you as a seller? The benefit is criteria of the offers tends to tilt in your favor if there are multiple people interested in the same property at the same time. What's the biggest piece there? It's the psychological factor, because if you have an open house and there's so many people going through it that all love it and they're talking about it at the same time, people tend to, psychologically speaking, want something that they feel like someone else wants even more. So there's a big part of the secret, and I talk to for sale by owners nearly every single day. It's a big part of my value proposition of being able to help somebody and deliver that value to them, knowing that they are going to get the highest price possible by hiring a professional like myself and hiring a pro and have it actually turn out in their favor. And one of the things that is just completely misunderstood, because it's hard to quantify, what happens when you deal with psychology and actually enter emotions into the equation, is it's not quantifiable. But I can tell you what, is it works, and it works every single time like magic. So let me walk you through the process. This is a listing that we took last week, and I'm going to give you every step here. So just pay close attention, take notes. This one went on the market on March 10th. It's now March 13th. So it listed on a Friday. So there's a big part of the process. We now have set a deadline for Tuesday at 12 o'clock noon. That's tomorrow. By the time you watch this video, this home will be under contract and I will have received multiple offers on it. Okay. So why do we do a Friday? Well, Friday because it's before the weekend. And why not a Wednesday? Well, Wednesday is the middle of the week and you tend to have less activity there. A Tuesday, we've done that before. We kind of missed the mark. So if you list it at the end of the week, you're actually going to get more people that are in the mode of buying, looking at the property when it first hits the market. I like to say that a rocket ship takes off the launch pad with maximum velocity. So we want to treat a real estate listing in a very similar way, meaning we have one shot at this new listing thing, right? When this home hits the market, all eyes are on it. It hits all of the hot sheets and agents and buyers are getting emails and getting pinged with this home hitting the market. And so it's my job as a listing agent to make sure that as many eyeballs see it in that first 72 hours as possible. So there's the Friday strategy. And we set a highest and best deadline for homes in specific price ranges because we want to increase the chances of people looking and in a condensed timeline so that it doesn't drag out forever. Okay. So believe it or not, we're still experiencing multiple offers here in West Michigan in certain places. So let's talk about the steps. Number one is location. Now, this is something we can't do anything about, but how do we actually work on multiple offers more than in other places? It's because some locations tend to lend themselves more to that. So there's a higher concentration of buyer activity in certain pockets, and that happens everywhere in the country. This one happens to be in a beautiful neighborhood in Grand Rapids called Alger Heights. So it's geographically defined. There's walking distance to stores and restaurants. It's very much a starter neighborhood. Folks tend to move into it, spend 2 or 3 years, and then move out. So there's a lot of turnover after 3 or 4 years, but it's just a nice walking community. So because of that, we have a greater chance of a higher concentration of buyer activity, people that are ready, able, and willing to purchase a home at this point in time. So that's something it's not really a part of the strategy, but just something to keep in mind as to why it happens with some homes and not with others. And then what happens? Well, then next we look at the product. We have the product, and that product is, of course, the home. And when you can have a home that is in great condition, it certainly helps. And then what we can do is work with the seller to make sure that it's clean and just spotless, move in ready. And then the things, if it's a vacant home like this one was, we can do virtual staging like you see here, which is one of the things that we did for this property. We virtually stage it. So you get to see it empty. So you could visualize yourself living there and what it looks like when you add furniture. So we get a double whammy with it. Okay. And this stuff costs money and it's technology and we know that it's worth doing. So now you have the product, and let's talk about about the price for a minute. You'll notice this price was listed for $299,000, $299,900. So why $299,900 and not say $310 or say $325? Well, this is interesting because I have this conversation every day with a seller. We have to be very careful about the list price, because if we overshoot it, remember the launchpad scenario? If we overshoot it by $5,000, this could have been $305,000. How many times have I seen a listing that should have been $299,900 listed for $305,000? That's a kind of a dance, I guess, if you would describe it this way, between the agent and the seller. And if you look at the number of eyeballs on, we have access to that. We have special reporting that shows us how many people are looking at real estate to a certain price. And so if you go past that, you're going to get about 80%. This is crazy. Less eyeballs on the property. And so it really dilutes the number of people that could potentially look at that property. Think about how damaging that is. 80% of the eyeballs are below 300, and then 20% are above. And so the other challenge is if you go above that, you're in a new bracket, say 3 to 4, and those $400,000 homes are much nicer, or the 350s are much nicer. So you're actually competing with much nicer properties. So better to get it into a bracket. Now there's debate, and I've done both ways, whether it should be 300 even versus 299.9, and I am able to tell based on eyeballs on the property. I have a reverse searching program that gives me that insight. So it's either going to be 300 even or 299.9, and if you don't know that, then you're in trouble because you're going to miss your bracket. So you got to understand that pricing is super critical. It's not something you want to just, check the wind and see which way it's going. Okay. The second thing is get the price right. So now you have the price right, and then the last piece of that is we're going to capture the essence of the product. We're going to make sure that we are doing all the things that's allowing the consumer to see how beautiful the home is. And we've done that with this one. We did a virtual tour, we did the staging, we did professional photography, we also did what's called a floor plan, so buyers can see what the home looks like before they even get out there. Okay. The next part is promotion. So we're going to promote the property. And how do you do that? Well, first of all, we're going to syndicate it. So another misunderstood piece. If I talk to a typical seller, or especially a for sale by owner, if they think about what they have at their disposal is they have Zillow. So they post their home on Zillow and they say for sale by owner. Well, imagine all these syndication channels here that we have access to. Once we put your home in it, it broadcasts out to the world, right? Thousands of websites. This is not representative of all of them. This is just some of them. So imagine having one of those. That's what a for sale by owner would have. And so when they say, how can you possibly sell my home for more money? I think I have it priced right. You may have it priced in this proper bracket, but you only have one syndication channel. So now we have thousands, which means an exponential amount of increase in buyer activity, which then they all come to it at the same time versus having one channel, which you might have a buyer on a Monday and a buyer the next Monday. These are separate events and it doesn't cause the same synergy and activity at the property. So that's the syndication. So then what happens? We have an open house, which we did on Saturday. There were, I think, about 15 people that came through. My team did this open house, and then that's a big thing, right? That many people at one time. And then we also did door knocking. How many times have you heard an agent door knocking around an open house? Guess what? It actually works. We're inviting the neighbors to bring the buyer, so they get a choice in the matter of who's going to live there. And we love doing that because it's fun, it's engaging, and we also increase the number of people that actually come through the property. So now we've door knocked, we've done the syndication on the MLS, we did an open house, and we let the magic happen. Then the next step is we gather feedback. So how do we do that? We have a feedback system. So whenever there's a showing that happens, we're able to see, here's the feedback system. So I'm tracking, we've had 20 showings since Friday. Not too bad, right? And it's probably by tomorrow, there'll be 25. So we'll have 25 showings. I'm going to try to squeeze this a little bit to maintain a certain level of anonymity. If I can go down here, I can't do that. But what I want to show you is, there you go. So you can see that these showings, and I'll show you this much on my screen, it gives me, so you can see that future showing, past showings, all of those showings, the agent that showed the home is providing us feedback. We ask them a question. How did your buyer like the home? What do they like about it? What do they hate about it? Are there any opportunities for an offer? What would they improve upon if they were to improve upon anything? How's that price compared to their expectations? Are they going to be writing an offer? If so, when? And so there's 10 questions specifically designed to draw out of the agent by virtue of asking their buyer to help them fill out that form. Now we understand how we're doing on the market. Tracking feedback is critical, not only for us as the agent, but for the seller. You want to know how you're doing on the market. If your agent is not using a feedback tracking system, they are not doing you a service at all. They're doing you a disservice, because it'd be like this, trying to sell a house this way. I don't know what's going on. I can't see. Without these optics, we're operating blindly. And that's a really dangerous position to be in. So now we're tracking, we're gathering feedback, and we're tracking progress. What's the next step? The next step would be capturing offers. Now we have a highest and best deadline and it's on Tuesday at noon. So this coming tomorrow, okay? So we use a spreadsheet called a offer spreadsheet template or offer spreadsheet. So what I'm doing then is I'm taking these offers and I am lining them up, and I will do this for this seller. This is not the spreadsheet for that particular one, but it's one we did in the past. You can see how we do it here. And so this is the other piece that is just really hard to understand. So I'm bringing this to you so you can see this in real time. Tomorrow at noon, I will have created a spreadsheet that looks like this, tracking the offers and their prices, because there's more to this than just the price. This will take me at least a couple hours to sort through all the options here, put them in the proper order in terms of price and financing and terms. And all of that matters. And so that I can present it to the seller in such a way that makes sense. I have to have clarity, and I have to be able to deliver that clarity to the seller. And once we have this spreadsheet created, we can have an intelligent conversation around, how are we doing? How did we do? Did we do pretty good? Let's talk about the best offer here. And it's not always price, by the way. Someone could go strong with price, and then it ends up going to another buyer because of other factors. Their lender they're working with. Are we familiar with who they are? Are they an out-of-town lender? Matters, right? Cash, is it king? Sometimes it's not king. Sometimes it takes more than cash, because you can't just come in with cash and lowball and expect to get the property. So I wanted to share this with you today. Hopefully this is helpful for you. This is the first time I've seen it done. I wanted to bring it to you. This is called bringing the realness to real estate for a reason. So you can see firsthand what happens behind the scenes and these real 5 critical steps to ensure that you are getting the most amount of money. So if your agent's not following a similar process, you're likely selling for a lot less money than you could. You got to make sure you're aligning yourself with the right agent that has the right system and right team in place that can do this in a repeatable, duplicatable, scalable, and more importantly, predictable way, so that the outcome that you're seeing here, that's going to happen here, actually happens for you too. If you'd like to put this plan into place, you can reach out to us at yoderrealestate.com, where we'd love to engage in a conversation with you. If you like this video, you want more tactical strategies, I just opened up the playbook for you. If this sort of thing appeals to you, come back here more often, subscribe to this video so that it notifies you that, hey, Kevin just did another video. He opened up his playbook, 20 years of experience coming right here on this stuff. And I'm going to share it with you each and every week. Okay. So hopefully you found value in this. And by the way, if you find that you have somebody in your life that needs to hear this right now, share this video, just hit share, copy, and then send it to them in text or any other way. You know how to do it. Reach out to us. We're here to help at Yoder Real Estate, bringing the realness back to real estate. All things living, playing, working, and of course, selling and buying real estate in Grand Rapids, Michigan. We'll see you soon.